and that what in fact happened was Justin didn't harass Blake. Blake was interested in wresting control of this movie away from Justin, who was the director and the producer. She was just an actress in it, and used threats and coercion and bullying to do it. And to the point where this guy was in the basement at his own movie's premiere.
Oh, honey, welcome to Hollywood, where your fave book could go from being the next big thing to a full-on courtroom showdown quicker than you can say Oscar buzz. And right now, the main mess, Blake Lively, baby, who might be staring down a 5-year prison sentence. Yeah, you heard me right. When the drama of a lawsuit ain't enough, why not add some jail time to make it real spicy? So grab your popcorn. I'm talking the fancy kind, the kind that's got a name on it. Cause this hot mess is messier than the movie they're all forgetting about. Now, let's rewind. Way back. Think ancient history. When the news dropped that It Ends With Us, that bestseller that had us all sobbing, was getting the movie treatment. At first, it looked like Hollywood magic, right? Justin Baldoni, the king of turning stories into straight-up emotional gold, was gonna direct. And then, of course, Blake Lively, our queen of wit and depth, was cast as the lead. It was like the universe itself was like, yup, this is gonna be iconic. The cast was on point, the director was vibing with the story, and everything was lining up for something straight-up legendary. But y'all know how Hollywood works. Once the cameras started rolling, boom, here comes the drama like it was scripted. So word on the street, Blake Lively wanted to sprinkle in some of her signature humor to the script. But Justin Baldoni, oh baby, he wasn't having it. He was all about keeping that gut punch, tear your heart out vibe that made the book a bestseller. Like, who needs emotional depth when you can have jokes and designer clothes, right? But hold up, don't even get me started on the wardrobe drama. Trust, we'll get there in a hot minute. But for now, just picture this. Fans, all hyped up for some movie magic, watching in pure shock as their beloved adaptation turned into a full-on backstage war zone.
You know, we've come across evidence that shows that even her own representatives knew that she was threatening and mean and tough and wanted to get her way. This is not something that we wanted out there. It's not something that Justin wanted out there. In fact, it hurts the movie. It doesn't help the movie.
Let's keep it 100, fam. If you're turning a book that's all about raw emotions and personal growth into a movie, maybe, just maybe, tone down the comedic sparkle. Yeah, that's what Baldoni was supposedly trying to say, allegedly. But Blake Lively and her crew? Oh, honey, they were all about adding that sassy humor and flaunting those high-end visuals, because who says you can't make heartache look fabulous, right? I mean, who needs deep, soul-crushing pain when you can dress it up in couture? By the time those first behind-the-scenes shots hit the internet, fans were like, wait a minute, wasn't this supposed to be the kind of story that has you ugly crying, not giggling the pics? Baby, they were giving more rom-com vibes than that emotional roller coaster we all signed up for. And you already know the internet went wild, along with Blake and Justin, but they kept it cute behind closed doors. Word is, Baldoni pulled her aside and was like, cut the comedy or you're gonna drown this story in punchlines and Prada. But Lively, true to her diva roots, hit him with the honey modern audiences need a little comic relief. Because, I mean, who doesn't think heartbreak hits better with a snarky one-liner ready to go? At first, it was just your usual creative differences. Nothing too crazy, just some Hollywood drama. But then, oh baby, this little spat went from mild to wild and turned into a full-blown legal disaster. Lively allegedly said she was being pushed to the side, like she wasn't the star of the show. And Baldoni, oh baby, he wasn't about to take that lying down. He had the receipts and he was ready to serve them. Now hold on tight, because here comes the real drama. Baldoni, in the most Hollywood move possible, hit Lively with a $400 million defamation lawsuit. Yes, you heard me right, $400 million. Because darling, when you're going to go to war in Tinseltown, a couple million ain't gonna do it. You gotta throw out a number so big, it sounds like you're budgeting for a military operation.
Are you going to sue Blake Lively too?
Into oblivion, Megyn. And we're carefully considering other people that will be sued also. And some
Ryan
of it
Reynolds?
as a surprise. Ryan Reynolds, for sure.
Oh, wow.
Oh, just when you thought this mess couldn't get any juicier, here comes a little tidbit that might blow the whole thing wide open. Rumor has it, Blake Lively might have twisted the truth, or even flat out made up some evidence. And honey, if that's the case, we're in for a major plot twist. Some in-the-know insiders are hinting at text messages, meeting notes, and maybe even some shady videos that could directly clash with everything Lively's been saying about how much comedic fluff she was really backing. Now, we all know these Hollywood lawsuits are usually about money, fame, and flexing on the gram, but add the possibility of some jail time into the mix, and suddenly it feels like we're watching a thriller unfold. Could Blake Lively, the queen of wit and flawless looks, really be facing up to 5 years behind bars for perjury or something close to it? In Tinseltown, where NDAs, script leaks, and hush-hush deals are practically a sport, some folks are calling all this Blake might go to jail talk nothing but a scare tactic. They're out here saying, settle up or we might just hand these receipts to the cops. Like throwing the possibility of prison in the mix isn't enough to get anyone sweating bullets. This ain't just losing a role or coughing up a fine, honey. We're talking jail time. And then, just when you think it's all calmed down, bam, another secret leak pops up faster than a Kardashian dropping a new season. You can't help but wonder if these leaks are just little pressure points meant to trap Lively. Because, let's be real, nothing screams, "I'm not playing," like threatening someone with an orange jumpsuit. But wait, we still ain't done yet. Now, let's get into the mess about Lively's sudden style switch-up. Early script notes and some spicy whispers say she was all about bringing that fashion heat to It Ends With Us. I'm talking designer gowns, killer heels, and camera angles that made every piece of culture pop. But when the fans and critics started throwing side-eye at her looks for totally clashing with the book's raw, emotional tone, baby, Lively hit the backpedal button real quick. That's when the drama really exploded, according to Baldoni's camp. They're saying Lively was all up in the mix, handpicking those comedic moments and bold outfits, only to later act like she was forced into it. So the real question is, was Lively really overwhelmed by all that comedy and couture, or was she the mastermind pulling the strings the whole time?
I'm a man, and this is a story that is told through the lens of a woman. And especially when it relates to intimacy scenes and to scenes where there is a mix of intimacy and violence, I wanted to make sure that those scenes had a female gaze. As much as I can try to see the world as a woman, I never will be able to.
And what's a true Hollywood scandal without dragging in another A-lister? Enter Ryan Reynolds, the alleged comedic mastermind behind some of those punchlines and cameo ideas. I mean, when you're married to Deadpool himself, why wouldn't you tap into that comedy gold? Especially if you're trying to keep the audience from ugly crying their way through the whole thing. But as soon as the It Ends With Us fans started raising eyebrows over the comedy, those cameo rumors, poof, vanished into thin air. Suddenly, it was all about pretending Ryan Reynolds wasn't even a part of the mix, or that Lively just wasn't having any of his comedic touches. Some insiders are saying she tried to pull a Houdini and distance herself from all that funny business. But let's be real, sis. This is the age of social media, and those behind-the-scenes whispers can turn into Exhibit A, B, and C in a lawsuit faster than you can say public relations disaster. Now, none of this is officially confirmed, but honey, we love a good juicy rumor, don't we? Maybe Reynolds was never involved. Maybe he was. Who knows? But here's the real kicker. The whole cameo talk is like that classic Hollywood domino effect. One minute, everyone's brainstorming how to add a little fun to a heavy story. The next, the fans are ready to drag you for it. And suddenly, the stars are out here acting like, what? Us? We had nothing to do with that. So what do? They backpedal, of course. Deny, or risk being painted as the comedic villain who ruined everyone's beloved book. Meanwhile, Baldoni's sitting pretty with all the receipts. And guess who's left scrambling to cover it all up? Yep, you guessed it, Blake. Alright, now let's get to the real tea. Perjury. Normally, defamation lawsuits are all about hurt feelings and fat checks swapping hands, right? But criminal charges? That's a whole different ballgame. For Lively to actually end up behind bars, there would have to be some solid, undeniable proof that she straight up lied under oath or faked something major. But just the whisper of that possibility? Honey, that's enough to set the tabloids off like fireworks on the 4th of July.
What I make of that is that if your wife is sexually harassed, you don't make fun of Justin Baldoni. You don't make fun of the situation. You take it very seriously. You file HR complaints. You raise the issue, and you follow a legal process. What you don't do is mock the person and turn it into a joke.
At this point, forget the movie. People are way more hooked on the real-life soap opera than the actual film. One day, the rumor mills are whispering that behind-the-scenes settlement talks are in full swing, with both sides scrambling to avoid the courtroom drama. The next day, fresh rumors drop saying Lively's legal team has some serious counter-arguments locked and loaded. Meanwhile, fans on social media are tracking every little piece of gossip, stuck between wanting a true-to-the-book adaptation and secretly living for the drama of it all. But let's not forget the poor book caught in the middle of this circus. It Ends With Us was supposed to be this powerful story of personal growth and healing. Either way, you know Hollywood will keep the drama coming, because let's face it, that's what it does best. So stick around, because if you thought the idea of 5 years in prison was wild, just wait until the next plot twist. In Tinseltown, there's always room for another jaw-dropping moment, and you can bet it'll come with some killer designer heels. In the City of Angels, even the biggest dreams can spiral into a mess of lawsuits, felonies, tabloid headlines, and a cast that just keeps getting more high profile. And honestly, isn't that exactly why we can't look away? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for tuning in.